Gymnasium. Aloha everyone, my name is Kevin O'Brien. Welcome to Kaʻulaheanuiokamoku Gymnasium. Welcome sports fans. This is the original broadcast of something called Ka Uila Sports, Electricity. This is an effort started last year by Miss Lisa Correa with the help of Mr. Kahola Ricard to get some outreach to the alumni. Last year we did a bunch of podcasts, of which I was involved with a couple. They were called Hikina Rising, and this program has now morphed into several other things. This is the first year at Kamehameha Schools Maui that we've had a broadcast, and the broadcasts are done by students every morning during the school week. So Ka Uila Sports is an effort to try to do some live streaming of athletic events. And here we are at the gymnasium, and we decided that the first ever broadcast would be for girls volleyball. And if you're a girls volleyball fan, if you're Kamehameha Schools Maui girls volleyball fan, tonight is a great night to be here. We decided that the girls volleyball program would be the best one to start with because it's got the greatest history in our school. This is the 17th season overall for the Kamehameha Schools girls volleyball program. Did you know that they've won the MIL championship 12 times, and the 4 times they didn't win, they were in second place. The Kamehameha Schools girls volleyball program has never finished lower than second. Every year they've gone to state, and that's why we thought this program was the one that deserved to get the first ever broadcast. I'm going to introduce my color commentator tonight. He's a senior. Here he is right here. His name is Ethan James. Ethan James is a senior. He's class of 2020. Ethan is a boys volleyball player, and I want to tell you, Ethan was last season's boys volleyball player of the year. Congratulations, my friend, for the championship Warriors. Okay, so Ethan, here we are. Why don't you tell the folks, you know this girls team as well as anybody. You get to go to practice. You're actually invited to practice. I know you don't go every day. What are the strengths of the girls volleyball program this year?
I think this team is pretty well balanced. I think overall they have good hitters and good defensive players, and this makes a well-balanced team, and hopefully we'll get to see that tonight. Okay,
very good. I should mention that the girls team this year, they're 7-1. They're in second place behind Kekaliki, who is 8-0. We're going to talk. They had a 5-set match last week in which Kekaliki was victorious here at our home gym. We'll talk about that as the game goes along. We're going to focus tonight. I need to mention, I suppose, tonight is senior night. And the team has 4 seniors this year. And so we jokingly, Ethan actually came up with it. It was a segment, he called it Make You Feel Old segment. So here we go. I know a lot of you who are watching tonight who are alumni, girls who have played for the program. You may have played for Bala Spencer, the legendary Bala Spencer. And Bala is here tonight. His medical issues that he had in 2016 are very well documented, but he's going to be here tonight. And the reason he's going to be here tonight is, do you remember that little girl who came to practice and was shagging balls? His daughter, Logan. Well, Logan Spencer is a senior, and tonight is her senior night. So, Ethan, Logan's your classmate. Why don't you tell, what are the strengths of Logan's game?
So, as we know, Logan is an outside hitter, and she has a very powerful swing, and when she gets the right set, she can put the ball down every time.
Yeah, and Logan is a multi-sport athlete. We're going to talk about that issue as we go along. She's been a 4-year varsity starter. She's been a very valuable part of this team. Her freshman year, she was on the varsity team, played for her father. The coach the last 3 years is a person named Alex Akana, and Alex is a 2008 graduate from Kamehameha Schools Kapalama. She won 3 state championships there as an outside hitter herself. She's a Division I player. She played at San Jose State University. And, you know, I looked this up about her, she had over 800 kills in her college career at San Jose State. So that's very impressive. And we should mention that Alex is a teacher at our elementary school. Full disclosure, I help Alex with the girls in the weight room, okay? I think she's an excellent coach. What are your thoughts about Alex as a coach? What are her strengths as a coach?
Well, she definitely likes to keep her team in condition, just like you said, how they condition with you. And I think she's a really good coach by keeping all the girls morally supported and make sure that they're always coming with an upbeat attitude so that they can perform their best at the games and even in practice.
You were talking about how you've also talked about how they keep notebooks and they have journals. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so in their journals, they review what they did in their past game and what they can work on specifically. And also they'll just have notes about other players and what they think stood out to them about the other players, and that I think really helps boost the morale of the team.
Yeah, I've seen them do that. They do that virtually every day at practice. They work on their journals and going back and forth on those types of things. There are 3 other seniors. I'm going to name them real fast. We'll get to them as the game goes along. One of them is named Hoala Alapaʻi. She's a 4-year starter. Another one is Meleana Hoʻopiʻi. She's a 3-year varsity player. And the 4th one, her name is Taylor Morita. And Taylor Morita is a 2-year varsity player, even though she's been in the program all 4 years. We're going to talk about all of them. So we got a big night tonight. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's obviously senior night, and as you all know, that's a big deal. I don't know if you can hear this already, but the high school band suddenly showed up today, and they're going to be over to our right, so you might hear some fun sounds from the band. We are going to have singers singing Hawaii Pono'i after the national anthem, so we got all kinds of stuff going on. We have a big crowd building. We've got posters all over the place. You girls all remember your senior night. That's going to be so this should be a super good evening. We should mention that Ka Uila Sports is really, there's a lot of students here. Ethan is not the only student here. We should sort of, and we'll address our crew here. Mr. Kahola Ricard has sort of recruited a crew, and these they're all sophomores, and man, they're doing something. You should see our setup. I wish we could we have a whole table up here. We got a whole setup. We got computers and all kinds of stuff. We're going to have 3 cameras tonight. So this is really exciting as we go forward. Let's mention who we're playing tonight. We're playing Maui High. They haven't had a great season. They're actually 0-8. I saw them play up here the first time they played Kamehameha. And, you know, they have a couple good players, but they've really sort of struggled to put it together. You know anything about the Maui High team, or what are your thoughts about anything of that kind of stuff?
I actually haven't had the chance to watch any of the games.
So let's we're about to have introductions, but let's talk briefly about that Kekaliki game last week. So that was a 5-setter. I thought Kekaliki was really good. Our girls battled, though. What was your thoughts about that game? And we'll come back to it later. What were your thoughts about that game?
I thought it was a very scrappy game. It was kind of felt like one set was definitely one side beating the other side, and then the Kinkeis, I think it was the middle, got injured, and that kind of hurt the Kinkeis team.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think definitely our girls definitely scrapped, and they had a great chance of winning.
Yeah, and it was very competitive. And it went back to Kekaliki won the first, we won the second. Kekaliki won the third, we won the fourth, and they won the fifth. And I thought our girls were our team, frankly, is a little bit, even though we have 4 seniors, our team's a little bit younger. They have an older team. Kekaliki has an older team. They have a lot of seniors. They have like 5 seniors, but they had 10. They got like 10 juniors and only 1 sophomore, whereas we're going to see tonight we have 4 freshmen on the team. And so we're a little bit younger. But I thought it was so, you know, again, here we go. And I should mention, we're talking about the standings. Probably something we should mention is that Kamehameha is solidly in second place in league standings. Kekaliki is 8-0. Kamehameha is 7-1. And really the third place team is Baldwin. And if I recall, I think they're 3-5 or 4-5 or something like that. And then Lahaina is like 2-7. And then Maui High, as I mentioned, is 0-8. So, you know, as you all know, that's important for the tournament. The top 2 seeds coming out of the tournament, of course, go to state. So it looks like Kamehameha School's streak of going to the state tournaments is going to be intact. Okay? So, folks, what we're going to do is we're going to step away for a little bit. We'll probably come back during the singing of the 2 songs. But after that, we'll be ready for some volleyball and for some senior nights. Okay, folks? Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back. We're going to take at least a 60-second break. Ethan and I are going to get resituated, and then we'll see you back here in a moment. Okay, folks, thank you for tuning in to the original broadcast of Ka Uila Sports Electricity. Thank you. All right, aloha everyone. This is Kevin O'Brien. We're back at Kaʻulaheanuiokamoku Gymnasium for senior night for girls volleyball of the 2019 season. This is the original first ever broadcast of Ka Uila Sports, Electricity. We're just about to have the teams introduced. I want to introduce my co-host one more time. My co-host is Ethan James. He's a class of 2020. He's a senior this year at Kamehameha Schools Maui. He's a boys volleyball player, and he was last year's MIL Player of the Year. Ethan, great to have you with me again.
Great to have you too.
And I guess we say again because we actually did a practice, right?
Yeah.
And tonight's the real thing. So how did you think the practice went? We did a practice 12 days ago. How did you think it went?
I think it went pretty smooth for it being our first time.
Yeah. And these sophomores that are running the boards and everything, they're pretty amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, we're really lucky to have this. So the introductions are happening. We should mention that Uila Spencer is here. He is here for his daughter Logan's senior night. So we'll probably going to try to get a shot of him. Speaking of which, we're talking about how Logan is a senior. Don't forget, Uila Spencer. He's a sophomore. And Uila, he's on the varsity football team, everybody. He's a starting center, but he's also, Ethan, why don't you talk about Uila Spencer a little bit about his volleyball game, because he played varsity volleyball. Why don't you tell us a little about his game?
Well, last year he stepped up as a freshman. He played our setter, and I think losing Austin, he definitely stepped up.
Austin Peters.
Yeah, Austin Peters.
Yeah.
He definitely did a great job, and we actually ended up winning that MIL.
And he's tall. Uila is actually taller than Spencer, taller than his father. He could be an outside hitter, but he's an excellent setter. That's really what he's good at, right?
Yeah, I think he's definitely sprouted this past year.
Yeah.
I think he's around 6'1" now.
And by the way, Uila Spencer's over here playing the tuba. So we might just flash, if we get a flash of the tuba section, we might just see Uila Spencer. And then again, there I can see the youngest one, Pahu, I forget how we pronounce the name, but he is the youngest one. He's at the middle school now. He's at Kamehameha Schools middle school now. And he might be the tallest one. He might end up being the biggest one of all, Ethan. Is he a volleyball kid too?
Yeah, actually this past week I went to help Taylor Awai out because she's coaching the boys volleyball team.
Okay,
Taylor school.
Yeah, Taylor Awai, class of, I think I even have this in my notes. I should have this on my notes. I do. Taylor Awai, class of 2014. She was a great setter here as well, and she's coaching the middle school boys.
Isn't so I came out and helped out last week, and he's playing for them, so I actually got to help him out.
And is he good?
Yeah, he's definitely great. Yeah. He's definitely a big kid for, I believe, 6th grade.
Okay. All right, here we are. We're ready for the first serve, and one of our seniors, Taylor Morita, is going to serve for the Warriors to start this game. Here we go. Float serve. Here's the Maui High set. Here comes their spike. It's going to be kind of a free ball, sort of in the back. Here's Hoʻopiʻi. And here's Logan. Sabres are going to have a free ball. They dig it out. Okay, and here comes their spike. And Hoala digs it out. Okay. Sarabe has the spike. And we've got an injury already on the court. The Sabre player who was up at the net trying to make the block on Sarabe came down on her ankle a little bit funny. Okay, so there's a little bit of a break here as Charles Rogo, the longtime athletic trainer at Kamehameha Schools Maui, is attending to the injured Sabre player. So right off the bat, we have a little bit of a break, but it's point Warriors 1-0. Okay, so let's look at the starting lineup for the Warriors. We've got all 4 seniors out there. Hoala Alapaʻi and Meleana Hoʻopiʻi, Taylor Morita, Logan Spencer. Then we've got a junior, Janae Sarabe, and we've got one sophomore on the court. Her name is Makamai Ka'ili Kramer. The Maui High player is up, walking okay. Looks like she's going to be all right. We'll see if she comes back in the game. Folks, I'm not necessarily going to call out the Sabres players as we're not as familiar with them. I do know that they have a player, number 7. She's their best player. I remember her from the first time we played them. Let's see if I'm going to dig out her name here. She was a very good player for them in the first round. Her name is Aja Rajvang. She's probably their best player.
She just got a kill shot.
She just got a kill shot, so there you go. Okay, so I know talent, Ethan. All right, so here we go. Side out Sabres. Okay, here we go. Same lineup, here we go. There's Hoʻopiʻi with the dig. Here's Morita with the set. Here's Logan with sort of the tip over. It wasn't really a clean hit, but she hit it out of bounds. Okay, just sort of tried to dink that over. Point Sabres. Sabres up 2-1.
Seemed like the set was just a bit too low for her, so she couldn't get a good approach and hit.
She didn't have time to get a swing. Okay, here's their serve. Okay, Hoʻopiʻi. Morita, there's Sarabay. Sarabay gets the kill. Side out Warriors, 2-2. This is Janae Sarabay. We've had a lot of Sarabays at this school. Janae is going to serve 2-2. Here we go. Yeah, service error into the net. You know, one of the things we talked about in our practice broadcast was how many service errors you and I saw, right? In that game we played Lahaina Luna that night. And I have to say, in the Kekaliki game, I counted 2 service errors by the Warriors. That was really maybe a difference that kind of kept
better.
Yeah, it kind of kept us in that game as well. Okay, so here's the serve for the Sabres, and it goes long back to the Warriors. Okay, so here's Meleana Hoʻopiʻi. She's the libero. She's one of the seniors. Why don't you tell us about her game, Ethan? What do you think about Meleana's game? She's been a 3-year varsity player.
Yeah, she's been great. So as a libero, she definitely has to be a good defensive player. So she's really good at reading, and she makes sure that she gets to the ball.
Okay.
And as a lib, you need to figure out and watch the shoulders, and you want to figure out how to get inside the seam where the hitters are looking like they're going to hit. The biggest part about it is reading shoulders.
So you're reading the shoulders of the other team's hitters, and that gives you an idea of where the angle of where the spike is coming.
Exactly.
Okay. And I can say Meleana, she has played a lot in her 3 years. She's sort of been one of Coach, when Coach Alex came here 3 years ago and was officially named head coach, Meleana was immediately on the team. And so she's been a very valuable player the whole time. She's always really sort of worn that blue jersey for the last 3 years. Okay, so we've had a couple of changes. It's 4-4. We've got a freshman in serving for the Warriors. Her name is Destiny Labuanan. Okay, and she's been the main freshman that has sort of played the most this year. There's Sarabay digging out. Here's Yamashita. Very good. So Yamashita, her name is Kayla Yamashita. She's a junior. She's a setter. Coach Alex runs a platoon on her setters, and she set up Hoala Alapaʻi for the kill. 5-4. Here's Destiny Labuanan with the serve again. We call that a float serve. I learned that. Okay, here comes the Sabre spike. All right, Sabres get the point. Luna's. Okay, I got to get caught up in my games here, Ethan. Warriors touch the ball. Good play, Sabres. 5-5. 5-5, Sabres serve.
Definitely off to a close start.
Yeah, these senior nights, I remember when, I was talking about how we've won 12 championships here, Ethan, and in the history of this school. And, the first 11 years the school existed, we won 11 in a row. And then Kekaliki won 3. And then the 12th championship at this school was in 2017. It was Coach Alex's first year. And that team was good. That team was led by Talia Leonai, all those girls from the class of 2018. Talia Leonai was MIL Player of the Year.
Yeah, she was a great player.
And Kimani Fernandez-Roy was great, one of the great athletes we've had here. She was the class of 2018, and they were led by Aaliyah Ayau, one of the great setters we've had. She was a 4-year setter. But I remember their senior night, and that was a team that was beat Kekaliki in 5 sets a couple of different times. That senior night they played Lahaina Luna and lost the first set because they were distracted by the senior night. So that was just an observation I sort of made about that. Okay, so here we go. Back to play.
Just out.
Yeah, Yamashita set up Alapaʻi and she just sort of set it over into some open space point. Warriors down 6-7. Okay, so here's Hoala Alapaʻi. What do you She's been a 4-year player. She's a really good player. She's a volleyball-only girl. Ethan, what's the strengths of Hoala's game?
So Hoala is obviously, as we've seen, a outside hitter, and she's really good at also hitting back row attacks. As I've seen her practice during her practices, she actually does a really good job at setting herself up to hit that back row attack.
Yeah, very good. You know, Hoala's older brother, Hoala Alapaʻi, was class of 17. He was a really good volleyball player here. Were you his teammate at least for 1 year?
Yeah, I was his teammate. I believe it was my freshman year.
Yeah, you were a freshman when he was a senior. Hoala was a great jumper. I remember that in high school. And so the Alapaʻi family is a very serious volleyball family. Hoala is one of the players. Like, for example, when in the Kekaliki game, Hoala was one of those players that never came off the court in all 5 sets. All of the, the different exchanges of personnel, changing up. Hoala is one of those that stays on the court. She's one of Alex's mainstays. So she's a really good player.
Very consistent.
Yeah, very consistent. Okay, and she can spike from the front and she can spike from the back row as well. Okay, so the Sabres are up 8-7. And they have the serve. Let's see what we got going here. There's Labuanan to the front. Unable to set up Yamashita. Oh, that was kind of funny. Alapaʻi took out the cameraman over there. That's our friend. Hezekiah, the junior, who's our expert at cameras. And so as the ball went out of bounds, Alapaʻi tried to get it, and the cameraman, she knocked the cameraman over. So the official has come over to talk to the student cameraman to say, watch out, my friend.
Yeah, it's going to be a good ball. So that means that the point doesn't go to either team.
Oh, okay. So we're going to replay the down.
Replay.
We're replaying the down. Okay, very good. All right. So 8-7 still, Sabres. Here's the spike. Alapaʻi to Yamashita. Sarabe. Sabres dig it out. Here comes their spike. Alapaʻi digs it out. Yamashita just sets it over. Sabres set it over. Free ball for the Warriors. Here we go. Here's Yamashita. That's Stuppelbean. They dig it out. Here comes the Sabres. The Sabres are unable. They mistime it. Stuppelbean. Her name is Sophia Stuppelbean. She's a junior. She likes to make sure everybody knows that you spell her name, Sophia, with an F, not a PH. Sophia is a 3-sport athlete as well. She's a soccer girl and a track girl as well. But she loves volleyball. So she serves. Here's her serve. It's on the Sabres side. Back row spike into the net. That's our friend. That's my friend number 7, Asia. Spelled A-J-A-H. I'm going to say that Asia. All right. We're going to take a timeout with the Warriors up 9-8. Let's do a little bit. Let's see here. Well, the band is not going to go, so we're going to stay right here and keep talking, Ethan and I. We should say Ethan and I were a little bit surprised when we arrived at the gym today, and there's a 30-piece band here. We did not expect that tonight. So we're going to be competing with the band, Ethan and I. But I think we can do it, my friend, don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
So now, what is your outlook for the boys' season? What is boys volleyball? And what is your outlook for the upcoming boys season? Your team is a 3-time defending MIL champion. We have a great history of volleyball at this school, don't we? So what are the outlooks for your team this spring?
So hopefully this year we can win the MIL again, and then hopefully the goal is obviously to win states. Mm-hmm. That's obviously the goal every year, and hopefully this year with Iverson back, I think we have a good chance because he's the height that we've been missing. Yeah,
so we're talking about Iverson Dudawa. He's a Dudawa, and he spent last spring at Molokai High School.
Correct.
But he's a student. He's been a student here, but he went to Molokai High School for a little while, and now he's back. And I can tell you that Iverson is a athlete, everybody. He's probably 6'4",
I'd say 6'4".
At least 6'4". I would say maybe even more. Every time I stand next to Iverson, he seems taller. So he's a senior. He's a class of 2020 as well. He's actually playing football right now, and he's done very well. I can attest to that. And he's a really good basketball player as well. Okay, so we're back in play. Okay, Warriors had a chance at a spike right there into the net. We're tied 9-9, so we're kind of tight here. And again, we should emphasize that the Warriors are 7-1, and the Sabres are 0-8. Okay, so the Sabres are playing well so far. All right, so here's Yamashita with the set. Sarabe, he dinks it across. They dig it out. Okay, here's our set. Sabres get it across. It's going to be a free ball back to the Sabres. Here's Asia. Yeah, there is. Asia is a player. Asia Ravajong, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Rajvong. Asia is a 10th grader. She's number 7. We should keep an eye on her for the next couple years. Okay? All right, here we go. Sarabe, she gets the kill. Sarabe gets the kill. All right, here we go. We're going to change some people up here. Logan Spencer comes in.
Right now, I think the Warriors definitely need to figure out how to be more consistent, seeing that there's been a couple errors or a few errors lately, and that's what's keeping the score up and up.
I agree with that. All right, here's Taylor Morita. Nice serve. It's on the Sabres side. Here comes their set. Here comes their spike. Dug out by Morita. Here's Hoʻopiʻi. Backline spike by Hoala. Sarabe makes the play at the net. Point Warriors, 11-10. Okay, the Warriors have a lead here. So let's talk about Taylor Morita. She's your classmate. She's the 4th senior. We'll have talked about all of them by this time. Okay, so what is the strengths of Morita's game, Ethan?
So Taylor, as you can see, she just had a really nice serve, a float serve, and she led that to Logan Spencer's kill. And I think Taylor is a very good setter, and she's good at figuring out what that hitter needs in particular, like the right height and the right speed. And that makes a great setter.
So we talked about this in our practice broadcast as well, the fact that the Warriors have 2 setters and they sort of platoon them back and forth, and you don't see that very often. So most of the setters that we've had in the history of the school, going all the way back to the great Brittany Awai, class of 06, who was a 2-time player, MIL Player of the Year. Setters were one of the ones that sort of play the whole game. This is sort of different than really I've ever seen. So what are your thoughts about having 2 setters on a team?
So this, what you call when there's 2 setters is, it's called a 6-2. So the benefits of having a 6-2 is that you're always going to have 3 hitters in the front row, because what they're doing is they're keeping that setter rotating into the back row. So that means that when the setter goes up in the front row, they'll still have 3 hitters. All right. And that's the main reason why they do that.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. All right, so Morita committed a service error right there. We should say that Taylor Morita her aunt is Erin Ventura. Erin Ventura was a setter at this on this team. She was class of 2010. She was on that great 2008 team that won a first-round playoff game at the state. That was the year that we had the Sage. The DaCosta twins, Sage and Simbri, the class of 09. Whitney Santos was a great player on that team, class of 09. And they won a game. They won a first-round game at the state tournament. And Erin Ventura, Taylor Morita's aunt, was one of the, I believe, the main setter for that team, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that team very well. I think Lemoy Tua's daughter, Taylor Tua, was on that team as well. You know, the great tradition that we've had here, we've won some games at state, but really this program's only won 2 games in the first round. One was in 08 and one was in 2008 and one was in 2011. But usually we have trouble at states in our first round game. What are your thoughts about that? What is the difference between Maui volleyball and maybe obviously Oahu volleyball? What are your thoughts about that? I know you play on Oahu occasionally, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's almost a totally different mentality they have over there, and the competitiveness over there is definitely a lot higher. And I think that is kind of something that's grown because they've always been a competitive, so it makes everyone else have to be more competitive, and there's definitely a larger pool to pull from.
Yeah, that's
because
the key,
there's a lot more people.
Yeah, that's really the key. And really, I mean, let's be honest with each other. Oahu sports, they win the most championships because, for the exact same reasons, regardless of the sport that you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so we're back to play here. The Warriors are going to – Logan Spencer just had a kill right there. Point Warriors to make it 16-14. We're back to Meleana Hoʻopiʻi on the serve.
All 4 seniors are on right now.
Okay. Okay, here's the Sabres. They're going to have a backline spike. That's going to go long. Point Warriors. 17-14. You know, you can tell we're obviously a talent level better than what Maui High has. And I don't mean that any disrespect. Like I've said, my friend number 7, Asia over there, she's a really, really good player. But you can just kind of tell that we're a little bit better.
I agree.
And you know, even though we're coming off of a slow start, and, you know, our last game was 2 games ago, it was kind of an emotional loss. You know, we're not playing well, but because we're a little bit better, it makes a difference. Okay, here's Asia serving. Let's see what her serve is like. See, here we go. Sarabay just hits it straight across. There's set. Here comes their spike. Sarabay digs it out. Pretty close to the net. Morita plays it. They got to try to put it over the net. Sarabay puts it into the net. Point Sabres.
Like you were talking about earlier, how the Maui High level seems a little lower. I think,
and I mean no disrespect by that. I mean,
I totally understand. I think one of the hardest parts is trying to figure out how to not play down.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
Even last year, I felt the same way as our team played against not as high level teams, and it was definitely hard to keep our energy up as well as everyone else's moral up. So it's definitely a hard thing to do.
Yeah, you know, it's like if we were playing like we played last week against Kekaliki, we'd be killing these girls. But again, to your point, yeah, there's obviously a little bit of a mental letdown. I commented about the fact that we had this senior night is sometimes a distraction. Okay,
yeah, just the energy level.
Yeah, the energy level's a little bit down right now. Okay, so Alapaʻi had a spike. It's on the Sabre side. Warriors are going to have a free ball. Here's Morita with the set. Stupplebean. She gets the kill. All right. Stupplebean gets the kill right in the middle. She gets that middle set. Stupplebean is sometimes what I would call the decoy. She goes up when she's not going to get it, when it's going to go to an outside hitter. But sometimes she gets that middle set right in the middle, and she's really improved. She only really started playing volleyball as a freshman, and she's already a two year in a row varsity player. Here's Labuinan, the freshman, with her great serve. She always gets put into serve. Here comes the Sabre spike. Dug out by Sarabay, but it goes all the way across. Here's the Sabres. They put it across. Point Warriors. What happened there, Ethan?
The ref called a net violation, I believe, on the setter when they tried to dump it.
On our setter?
Their setter, Maui High setter.
Okay, so point Warriors, my mistake. All right, here we go. Here's Labuinan, the freshman. She's got that float serve. It goes right over the net. She's really good at that.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, here comes the Sabre spike. It's blocked at the net by Stupplebean and Yamashita, but blocked out of bounds. So here we go. The Sabres have battled back a little bit. We're at 19-18 Warriors. Okay, here we go.
Warriors definitely need to figure out how to slide out of this.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's the Sabres serve. Sarabay. Here's Yamashita to Alapaʻi. She gets the hit. They keep it alive, but they call it a net violation or a double hit. I'm not sure which that was. Point Warriors.
To me, it looked like a double hit, I think.
Yeah,
I think the blocker touched it a few times.
Yeah, I think you're right. So here's Hoala Alapaʻi on the serve. Jump serve, float. Sabres have a hard time handling. It's way in the back. Warriors are going to have a free ball. Here it comes. Here's Alapaʻi. She sets up Yamashita. Oh, there we go. There's a back spike. I know they've been practicing on. What's that play called? Stupplebean hits it long. What's that play called right there?
That play's called a slide out.
Yeah, okay, that's right. I heard that.
It's really hard for the defense to track that, so that's why it's a good play to run on a good pass.
Yeah, so when I was just commenting that Stupplebean is usually that middle, she gets that middle set on that one. What's it called again?
A slide out.
The slide out, she got the slide out on that one. Okay? All right, it's on the Warriors side. Here's Yamashita, Alapaʻi, back line, spike. Sabres dig it out. Here's their set. Here's their spike. Sarabay sets up Yamashita. Sarabay. It's over on the Sabres side. Warriors going to get a free ball. There's Hoʻopiʻi. There's Yamashita. Sarabay. Sarabay is blocked. And the ball landed in on the Warriors side. Point Sabres. We're at 20-20.
Yeah, I think we might see a timeout here if they don't pick it up here soon.
Coach Alex is pacing, ladies and gentlemen. She doesn't pace very often. Service error. Not a good time to have that. Service error. So here we go. Warriors have the lead, 21-20. Here's Stuppelbean. By the way, I want to note that I'm going to have a special guest. I'm going to be interviewing a special guest in between the first and second set. So please stay tuned for that. Just give you a little heads up who it might be. It's a Kamehameha Schools Maui alumni, and she played volleyball. So that's going to be very fun to do that. Okay? We're going to keep it right here. It looks like the band. I'm not sure what the band is waiting for.
I think it might be in between sets. So.
I think you might be right. So we may have to bleed our. I may have to bleed my interview into the second set, Ethan. I hope you don't mind.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. That's what I love about you, my friend. I can tell you that Ethan James is an excellent student. Everybody, you should be very proud of his entire efforts and his representation of the school. What are your thoughts about, your senior year, Ethan? What are you thinking about doing next year? What's your plans and dreams and hopes for next year?
Next year, I plan to go to college, and I hope to get into UPenn. It's a reach school. So We'll see how that goes, and I want to go into business, particularly financing.
Way to go. I love finance. I love money talks and things like that.
I loved your talks.
Okay, right on. So are you hoping to continue your volleyball career at the next level?
So I'm considering that as well. That was my other route. I was thinking of either focusing on education and getting my degree in business, obviously, or doing that for volleyball if I get some kind of offer during my last season this year.
Okay. Have you had any discussions or any offers with anybody yet?
I haven't made any huddles or anything like that. So.
Well, let's do it, Ethan, because I can tell you one of the things I can tell you about Ethan is talk about jumping. The man can jump. For some of you alumni who used to do my box jump drills, right? Ethan, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Ethan is really good at the box jumps. I can tell you, he can sky. And really, Ethan is not much of a weight room person, are you, Ethan? I mean,
no, only this year I'm trying to get into it.
Yeah, you've been a lot better this year, but I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Ethan can fly. There's a reason why he was Player of the Year last year in boys volleyball, and I think he'll have a good chance to do that again if we stay healthy and the team plays well. So
thank you.
Make sure if you and by the way, I should mention that we Ka Uila Sports, we're going to do a live broadcast of a boys game. Okay, that's going to be a very important part of this whole deal, and so you'll be able to hear. And that's who my intermission guest is going to be. She's going to do the play-by-play, and her color commentator is going to be one of the girls playing in the game tonight. So we're going to talk about that in between periods, or we're going to come back. We'll come back after the second set starts. So we're at 23-21 Warriors. Here's Yamashita. Here's Sarabe. Sabres dig it out. Here's their set. Here comes Asia. Alapaʻi digs it out. It's back on the Sabres side. Here comes their spike. It's blocked at the net. Yamashita. Here's Hoʻopiʻi. Here comes Sarabe. Sarabe's shot. Okay, there's some question here.
I believe they're calling it a touch off the block and out. Yeah, it looks like that's
I thought the block came back in and was in. So, this is one of the this is one of the things that I have to say. One of the things you have like these high caliber varsity games, and okay, sometimes you've got JV kids who are brand new to volleyball, who've never played volleyball before, who are working the lines. And that was like at the Kekaliki game. This is something I think the MIL needs to address.
I agree. Definitely.
All right, here we go. It's on the Warriors side. Logan Spencer puts it across. Okay, here comes the Sabre spike. Out of bounds, and that's going to be the point right there. Point Warriors, okay?
25-21.
25-21, okay? So we are going to take a break. It looks like the band is actually going to be playing here for just a moment. So we're going to take a 120-second break. Is that okay with my director, a 120-second break? Okay? And we're going to get resituated for my interview. Maybe you're going to hear some band. Ethan, we'll be right back. Okay? Good first set, 25-21. We'll be right back, folks. Thank you very much. Aloha, Maui, Kamehameha Schools Maui volleyball, girls volleyball fans. This is Kevin O'Brien. I'm back here for senior night for the 2019 girls volleyball program. We're celebrating 4 seniors, and I have a very special guest tonight for in between the first and second sets. Her name is Uila Sportscast. She is from the class of '06. She's one of the original members of the first class. She's always also a member of my closet crew, correct?
Yes.
Remember those good old days?
History class.
Okay, and you're
World
also,
history.
let's talk about this, you're also a former volleyball player at this school.
Yes, that is correct.
And you were on the very first team, the very first ever volleyball team that this school ever had. The first
Yes.
3 teams, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you tell us all about that experience? What was that like to be at a sort of a brand new program, a brand new school? And you were good right away, right? You started that 11. Your team started that 11-year run. What was that like? What memories do you hold of that time?
Definitely a young team at the time. We were made up mainly of freshmen and sophomores.
Yep.
By the time we got to our 2003 fall season, and we were all sophomores, and there were 3 freshmen with us,
Yep.
and we went all the way to our junior year as second seed,
Yeah.
actually champions
Yeah.
in the MIL, and then our junior year we were the MIL champions,
Yeah.
and then senior year again the MIL champions.
And so who are some of your teammates and classmates that you remember that were really good players from that time?
So definitely, first one comes to mind is our setter, our backbone at the time, Brittany L.Y.
Yeah, no doubt.
She was our MIL player of the year, our junior and senior year.
Yep, 2 years in a row. Yep.
Definitely well deserved. Our middle hitters, Puni, Tau'a, before Kruger,
Yep.
Puni Kruger,
Yep.
and Keisha Kaya.
Yep.
Our outside hitters, that included Sable Bisson.
Yep.
We
She
also-
was not in your class. She was a class below you.
She wasn't, but she played with us
Yep.
all the way through. So when
Yep.
our first year as varsity, she was one of those 3 freshmen that
Right
were with us.
So does it make you proud to think about how much success this program has had? Once you were one of the beginners you were one of the pioneers, I guess you could say, of this. Does that make you proud of what we see out here and what we've seen over the years?
Definitely. It emphasized the hard work and dedication that has built this program and continues to show itself in the present day. So very proud.
So why don't you tell everybody what do you do with yourself these days? What is your job? What do you do for a living?
I am the Kamehameha School Student Records Coordinator for the Maui campus.
How about that? So you're one of those kids that is an alumni that came back to work at your old high school.
I just can't get enough.
That's very cool.
I seem to just love this place a lot.
Everybody who gets involved does. And so the last thing we'll talk to you about is in the spring, you're going to be doing what I'm doing tonight, and you're going to be working with Logan Spencer doing Ethan James is doing tonight. Or how do you feel about that? Are you excited to do the play-by-play? Are you excited for that?
It definitely brings me back closer to the game and giving back. I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie, because it's been a while, but that's a good reminder to come back and appreciate the sport that I definitely love.
Okay, right on. Well, very good. Thank you for visiting with me in between sets. We've already got it going on here. It's 2-2, so we're going to get back to the play-by-play. But thank you so much for coming. And I can tell you, folks, she's doing a great job. She's doing a great job at her job as well. We all love having you at the school. Even though you were our students, we love having you back. You're doing an awesome job. So thank you.
To everybody on the campus as well.
Right on. Okay. Ethan and I will be back. We're going to show just video of the game. We're not going to stop. Ethan and I will be back on in about 30 seconds. Okay. Thank you, my dear. Aloha.
Oh.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, folks, we're back. That interview went a little bit longer, or maybe the in-between was a little bit shorter than I thought. So the band has been here. This is kind of the band has been here all night, and they've played one song. So we'll see if they get going a little bit here more the next time around. So we're already in the second set. That was my fault that that sort of happened the way it happened. We missed a little bit of volleyball. It's now 5-3 Warriors in the second set. Okay. Labuanan, the freshman, is back in for her service turn. Really, Labuanan has been the main freshman who has played this year. What are your thoughts about her game? She's short. She's sort of a backline player, defensive player. What do you think about her?
Well, as a freshman, of course, she's not going to be the biggest, but I think that she's a great defender. She's really good at staying low, which is a big part in being quick and moving to the ball in the right spot, and she's got a great serve.
She does have a great serve. And she has been, like I said, there's 4 freshmen on the team this year, and Labuanan has been the main one who plays the most. She played in the 5-setter against Kekaliki last week. All right, so here's the Sabres. Warriors are going to have a free ball. Labuanan actually digs it out. It's up at the net. Sarabe. Okay, we're back on the Warriors side. Here's Yamashita. Here's Alapaʻi. It's rejected. Hoʻopiʻi digs it out. Yamashita finds open space. She just sets it over. I commented, I think that was one of the specialties of Aliyah Ayau. She would just sort of set over when she felt there was space just beyond the blocker. She did that all the time.
Yeah, it's a great play.
From the 2017 championship team.
And that's actually called a dump shot.
A dump shot, yes, okay. Yeah. I'm learning, very good. All right, here's Yamashita. She sets up Alapaʻi, but the Sabres are going to have a free ball. But Alapaʻi found space in the back corner with her deep set.
Very smart play there.
And so suddenly we've got a little bit of space here. 8-3 Warriors. The Sabres are going to call a timeout. Looks like the band is going to stay seated, so we're going to stay here as well. I thought Ileo did a good job. I think Ileo's going to do a really good job. She's a high-quality person, as everybody knows. Let's talk about some of the great, and I know I sort of put Ethan in a bad spot here, but some of the great players of the year. We talked about, Ileo and I talked about Brittany Awai, 2-time player of the year. Don't forget the great Drianne Shaw, class of 08. She was a player of the year. Talia Leonai, as we mentioned, from the 17 championship team, class of 18. She was a player of the year.
She might be the only one I really recognize.
Yeah, that's probably the one you recognize. I was talking about, in our practice game, Ginger Long, probably our most accomplished alumni, class of 11. She played all 4 years at UH Manoa. I remember we had a playoff game here, and he was talking about how Dave Shoji showed up here, the head coach at the University of Hawaii Manoa. Dave Shoji showed up at Ka Uila Gymnasium. I remember him being here for that game, and we did not win that game, but he was here, so I thought that was really cool. He was here to watch Ginger play, and Ginger did play there. I remember Kaulana Ane was her setter. She was another, we were mentioning great setters, and Kaulana Ane, class of 11, she had a really great career. I think Ginger Long was a 3-time MIL Player of the Year, at least twice, maybe 3. All right, so Labuanan has strung together some points. It's 9-3 Warriors. Here we go. Sabres have the ball. Here's their bump. Here's their set. Here's Asia. She dinks it across. It comes back to the Sabres side, but Asia can't play it. Stuppleby made the play.
She went for that little tip shot right over the block, but it just wasn't far enough. So
it wasn't deep, and it wasn't quite long enough. 10-3 Warriors. Now we're starting to see the separation basically between the talent of the two schools, I think. Ace, the Sabre defender, the Sabre receiver, couldn't handle that in the back row. Their libero. And this is what we said. We've kind of seen this. Labuanan has this, she's kind of got no nerves to me as a freshman player. She does this a lot. She comes in and strings a bunch of service points together. And her serves are, for some reason, hard to handle, just like we see right there.
You called it.
12-3 Warriors.
She's got a good float serve, and with that, the ball moves kind of erratically, and it makes it really hard for the defenders to read it.
We were talking about a knuckleball pitcher, the same kind of thing is what you sort of see.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so here's Labuanan again. Sabres made some change-ups in their lineup. Some of the band members are eating, so they're not going to be playing too soon. Sabres dig it out. Okay. Warriors are going to have a free ball. Asia hits it deep and long. Warriors point again, 13-3.
This is what consistency does. It gains a really big lead.
So we should mention again, Uila Spencer is here tonight. He was able to come to his daughter Logan's senior night, so he's over in the corner watching the game. And we've already seen a bunch of Kamehameha School's alumni go and talk to him. Maybe you've caught some in this game when the Sabres are serving. You might be able to see him in the background back there. But this game's going by pretty fast. 14-3 Warriors. Float serve. And again, Sabres have a hard time handling Labunan's serve. Maui High coach is going to try to make some change-ups here. Put some players out there in the back row to try to sort of defend this serve. Here comes Labunan again.
Definitely a very tough serve.
Yeah, here it comes. Okay, they're going to get a set here. They're going to get a spike. On the Warriors side, Sarabay digs it out. Yamashita. Sabres are going to have a free ball. Warriors misplay it. Miscommunication. Ho'opiʻi hit it into the net. Point Sabres, 15-4. All right, here's Asia Ravjong. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She's a really good player. She's only a sophomore. Here's her serve. Sarabay digs. Yamashita. Here's Alapaʻi. Oh, nice play by her. There's that power you were talking about.
She definitely likes that angle shot. As I've seen in practice, she likes to turn her body that direction, and she hits a great shot.
Yeah,
as you see, there's no defender even there.
Yeah, and you can sort of see how well-rounded she is. She can play back row. She can do it all. Hoala can. Nice serve by Hoala. Here's the Sabres set and spike.
Rolled right up over that net.
Rolled right over the net and in. Point Sabres, 16-5. Okay, here we go. We're going to have another freshman check in for the Warriors. Her name is Carly Dean. She's sort of been the second freshman off the bench. She's the daughter of Sheila Dean, the middle school teacher. Some of you alumni may remember Miss Sheila Dean. We have a little, what do we got going here, Ethan?
I think it's a substitution error. I think they didn't wait long enough, possibly.
Yeah, there's a protocol of you're supposed to wait a certain amount of time to make sure you're checked in, correct?
Yeah, you got to kind of wait for the referee to let you in.
Okay, so Dean is in the game. Let's see, and she's very enthusiastic. She's very excited. She loves playing. She shows a lot of enthusiasm. Here she comes right away, and they let her. She's an outside hitter. It's on the Sabres side. They're unable to handle the defensive play. Point Warriors, 17-5.
I think Mejia definitely in the future will be a great player for this team, and she's only a freshman now, so I think in the next few years she'll definitely grow and become probably the outside hitter.
And you called her
Mejia. That's what I know her as.
Okay, Mejia Dean. Okay, so I call her Carly. I actually call her Dean, I have to admit, but Carly Dean is her name. Mejia Dean. She's up there again. They let her out. They let her hit. Yamashita set her up, but she was rejected at the net. Point Sabres, 17-6. Warriors. So we're seeing both teams do a lot of substitutions, trying to get both teams are trying to get a lot of people into the game. All right, here comes the Sabres serve. Way in the back. Jump serve. That's going to go long. She needed to back up further.
Yeah.
Okay. Point Warriors, 18-6. All right, here's Taylor Morita back in the game. All right, here's Noelani Hoʻopiʻi. All right, now here's something I wanted to actually bring up. Noelani is a junior. She's number 12. Her nickname, by the way, now a lot of you may remember I like to give people nicknames. Her nickname, Ethan, is Lefty. And we're going to see if they set her up. She is a left-handed player. Morita's serve. It's on the Sabres side. Here comes their spike. Into the net. Into the net. Point Warriors, 19-6.
Lefties definitely have an advantage over righties just because it's different.
And Ethan knows where I'm going with this whole story, don't you? You know who I'm eventually going to talk about since we're talking about left-handed people, right? Ethan, do you know who I'm going to start talking about here?
I'm trying to think.
Yes, it's going to be Ethan James. So here's a little story. Ethan is right-handed. This is a reason why you folks need to tune in the spring to watch Ethan play. Ethan is an ambidextrous player. He can spike it with both his right hand, his dominant hand. And I have to admit, I was watching a game one night. I'm like, is Ethan left-handed? And then I was like, wait a minute. No, he's right-handed. He's right-handed. He's right-handed. And then suddenly it's like he spiked another one left-handed. I'm like, that guy's ambidextrous. So how did you learn to be an ambidextrous player, Ethan?
Honestly, I really don't know. I kind of just was playing, and it's weird because, like, I don't really try to hit it with my left hand. Like, I don't ever go in thinking I'm going to hit this with my left hand. It's more of I'm kind of approaching and getting up there, and if it's just to one side too much, I guess if it's right at that point, then I'll hit it with my left.
Okay. Very interesting. All right, so here we are. Back to play. Here's Morita again. That's the serve is long. All right, 21-7 Warriors. All right, we've got Warriors have a sophomore in the game. Her name is Kaena Cervantes. Her older sister, Alea Cervantes, just graduated last year. She was a 4-year player as well. Kaena is a sophomore. She's been on varsity the last 2 years. All right, here's Ka Uila. There's her left-handed hit. Sabres are having a hard time dealing with it. Ka Uila with the point, 22-7. You saw her go up with that left hand. All right, here's Carly Dean. Alapaʻi back in for Cervantes. All right, here's Dean. Let's take a look at her serve. Here it comes. Okay. On the Sabres side, here's their set. Here comes their spike. All right, Morita. Here's Hoʻopiʻi to Ka Uila. They just get it across, but the Sabres are unable to play it.
Smart play there.
Yeah, kind of handcuffed at the net. Asia got handcuffed at the net. 23-7 Warriors.
It's definitely a smart play to do, and the set is a bit too tight. Is try and play it off the block's hands, and it makes
out of bounds, and try to get them to knock it out of bounds,
Yeah.
right? All right, Carly Dean serve. There you go, Carly Dean. You can see she's very enthusiastic. She got an ace. She had a big grin on her face. She loves playing volleyball. You can tell. I love that about her, and I compliment her about her great enthusiasm. That's really good to have on any team. All right, so here's Dean's serve for point, set point. Here's their bump, and they just get it across, dug out by Morita. Here's Alapaʻi, and she forces the defender to just barely get her hand on it. Point Warriors, set point, 25-7. Warriors win the second set. Okay, folks, we're going to be back. We're going to take a 60-second break, and Ethan and I will be back for the third set. Okay, folks, stay with us, please. All right, folks, welcome back to Kaʻulaheanuiokamoku Gymnasium. My name's Kevin O'Brien. I'm here with my student color commentator, Ethan James, from, he's a class of 2020. He's a senior at Kamehameha Schools, Maui. The image you're looking at right now is an image of Coach Uila Spencer. He is here for his daughter's senior night. Bala has obviously not been with us the last couple years because of his medical situation. But I can tell you, since the last time I saw him, he looks a lot better. I think he's doing really well. It's super great to see him. I can tell you that he's obviously having a good time tonight. His daughter's playing volleyball, and his son is playing the tuba. And all of his kids are really good athletes. So we're all very excited, and we love Bala, and we miss him, and we wish him great health going forward. Okay, Ethan. Third set. This goes as fast as the second set. We're going to be out of here. It's going to be an early night for us.
Yes,
so let's see what happens. I should tell you all, tell all of you who are watching, we're not going to be here for all of the post festivities involving senior night and the 4 girls. We are going to show you. We're hopefully going to show you just a clip of them, the 4 girls with all the lays they get. And then we'll cut it off after that. So that will be our sort of ending thing. So let's see if the Sabres can put up a little fight here in the third set, and let's see how this is going to go. Okay?
Warriors just need to stay consistent, and they'll probably just do the same thing.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think we'll probably see some substitutions that probably try to get some other girls into the game.
I think towards the end of the set, though, they'll definitely try and put in their seniors just because it's senior night.
Yeah, I think they should do that. Okay, so that's Taylor Morita. She had a service error. Okay, service error should be 1-0 Sabres. So our scoreboard is not correct. Side out Sabres. I'm apparently the only one who noticed that the scoreboard is wrong. Okay, Serbe, Morita. Here's Logan Spencer. She gets the kill.
Nice deep shot by Logan Spencer.
Yeah, very good. And she wasn't really at the net. She was a little bit away from the net. So this should be 1-1. Janae Sarabay serving. Here's the Sabres. Here's their set. Here's their spike. They find open space. Kill shot Sabres.
That spot right in there in the middle is definitely where everyone kind of is hesitant to get the ball, and it's definitely a deadly
spot. Should I get it or should you get it? You can kind of see that.
Exactly.
All right, so the scoreboard is messed up. They've got the home team with 2 and the visiting team with 1, and that's wrong. Okay, so it's on the Warriors side. Here's Logan Spencer. She's just got to dink it over, but the Sabre defender made a good play and put it right back.
Set was definitely a bit too tight for Logan there.
Too tight to the net.
Just trying to stay on her side of the court, which is always a safe thing to do.
Okay, the scoreboard is incorrect. It's 3-1, and now it should be, I think it should be 4-1. So I'm the only one. So I think the Maui High assistant coach is calling. There we go. We're getting it fixed here. Should be 4-1. They fixed it. So the Maui High assistant coach and me were the only ones who understood what was going on. Sarabay with a backline serve. Warriors have a free ball. Here's Sarabay. Here's Morita. Here's Hoala Alapaʻi. She doesn't get a full swing. Here's the Sabres. Here's their spike. Sarabay digs it. Here's Morita setting up Logan Spencer. She's just got to dink it across. Sabres are able to play it. Warriors are going to have a free ball. Hoʻopiʻi. Morita. Kaʻili Kramer. Makamai Kaʻili Kramer. Sophomore. Her second year on varsity. She's really improved this year.
She just hit a great hit.
Yeah, she got one of those middle sets. Okay, so she and Stupplebean sort of play that middle right there. Here's Meleana Hoʻopiʻi. Her nickname is Lemonade. Okay, explain this overlapping violation, Ethan. What was that call?
So basically, everyone's got the rotation that they're supposed to be in, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to position themselves to where it's going to be the easiest to get to their main position. Yeah. So what's happening is either miscommunication or they're being lazy and they're going too early.
Yeah.
And they got to make sure they do it after the serve goes over or after the server hits the ball.
You know, that's really a mental error, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
totally.
That's a mental error. All right, so Logan Spencer, she had her spike into the block, but the block knocked it out of bounds. Point Warriors. Here's Labuinan. She's back in for her serve. 5-3 Sabres in the third set. Okay, let's see if Labuinan can string some points together. All right, here's the Sabres. Here's their dig. Here's their set. Warriors are going to have a free ball. They didn't even need to bother with that because the ball that came across went long out of bounds. Labuanan gets the point. 5-4 Sabres. Okay, I'm trying to keep up here. Here we go. Here's Labuanan. Real float serve. Here's their set. They just set it across. Here's Yamashita. Serbe back line spike. Sabres keep it alive, but they're going to hit it out.
Just long. And
Good.
Serbe just did a great job on following the ball to make sure that it's going to go out of bounds. Because
Okay.
it happens a lot where
It
the
dies.
defenders don't follow the ball and it hits that back line, and it's always disappointing.
5-5 tied the score. Here we go. Labuanan is the one who strings these points together more than anybody else. There's an
it
ace. There's an ace.
Just what the Warriors need to come back.
That knuckleball float serve.
Now they have the lead at 6-5.
Yep, exactly right. She doesn't make very many service errors either. She didn't make any service errors the other night against Kaʻulaheanuiokamoku in the big game either.
Yeah, she's doing a great job.
All right, here comes the Sabre spike. Ho'opiʻi digs it out. Here's Serbe, sets up Alapaʻi. Here she comes. She's blocked to the net. That's going to go over. That's going to go over, but the Sabre player on her spike hit the net violation. Warriors points.
Happens a lot on a tight set.
Yeah, that was close to the net. 7-5 Warriors. All right, the Maui High coach, he's making plenty of substitutions himself, isn't he?
I think he's just trying to get his players in and make sure that they're making the best possible rotations for all
Yeah,
of them.
you know, we started looking at this roster of Maui High, and you know, when you take a look at their roster, they really only have 2 seniors on the team. So they're a young team, and you know, he's obviously building for the future. They're gonna be playing in the play-in game, probably against Lahaina Luna. I don't think they're as good as Lahaina Luna, but he's building for the future, trying to get a lot of girls a lot of playing time. So here's Labuanan again. Warriors are gonna have a free ball. Here's Ho'opiʻi. Here's Yamashita. Here's Alapaʻi. She spikes it long. Side out Sabres. 8-6 Warriors. More substitutions. More substitutions.
I think at this point he's just trying to get all his players in.
I think you're right. You know, he's got a full bench. He's got 3 coaches on. He's got 4 coaches on the bench. Okay, here we go. Here's Sabre serve. Serbe, Yamashita, Stuppelbean. She just dinks it across. Here's the Sabre set. Here's their spike. Labuanan digs it out. Here's Yamashita, backline. Serbe hits it long. Point Sabres, 8-7 Warriors. Okay, here's the Sabres serve. Out. Service error. Yeah, you know, the Kaʻulaheanuiokamoku Kamehameha game, neither side made service errors.
Yeah,
It was really high quality volleyball, wasn't it? So there are 2 more meetings between the Warriors and the Naʻaliʻi. I believe the next one is next week, Tuesday. Are they playing the day after tomorrow? They could be. I'm not exactly sure. But both games are going to be at the Naʻaliʻi gym. So if you're around, if you want to go to one of those games, take a look at the KSBE.edu website, the Maui High School website. You can go right on athletics and find out when that game is, when and where that game is.
Definitely the best games in the MIL for girls volleyball right now.
Man, I can tell you those Naʻaliʻi girls were so excited whenever they got big points, and it's obviously a very hot rivalry, very exciting, very high quality volleyball.
Very competitive.
And very competitive. And the Naʻaliʻi they're really good. I mean, they're really. One of the things I noticed is that they contested everything at the net.
Yeah.
Even if it was going to be a free ball for them, they still. And we're just sort of setting it over. They were contesting at the net. They had girls jumping at everything. So, and man, did they get excited. They were so excited to win that game. So our girls have, I have to say, our girls have their work cut out for them to take on the Naʻaliʻi. So that's going to be, we're going to play them 2 more times, and most likely we would probably have to predict they would play in the MIL tournament, probably.
I agree. I think so.
So at least 3 more meetings between the 2 schools. So
should be a great game too.
yeah, and the Warrior, our girls, you know, they have it cut out for them. I mean, I thought the most impressive thing, and I told Coach Alex this after the game, I thought the most impressive thing of all was how our girls battled. They just battled. They never gave up. They're down one set, and then they were down 2-1, and they never quit. They never quit, and that was the best thing. And so all of you alumni out there, you should be very proud of that fact, that this team battles. So we've got some sort of delay going on here. I'm not exactly sure. Ethan, you got any idea what the heck is going on here?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm assuming it's maybe a call that the Maui High teammate is maybe arguing.
Yeah, it seemed like there was an argument. The drummers have suddenly come to life on the band, so something's happening. I don't know if these band people understand that this may be the last set. All right, here we go. It's on the Warriors side. Here's Sarabay. Sarabay gets the kill.
Nice angle shot there.
Point Warriors, 13-7. All right, Hoala Alapaʻi, one of the mainstays. Here she comes. She's going to be on serve. Hoala never leaves the court. All right, Sabres dig it. Warriors are going to have a free ball. Alapaʻi can't handle the return. Ball out of bounds, point Sabres, 13-8. 13-8. We've really only been playing volleyball now for about an hour and 10 minutes. This has been a pretty quick match. Here's the Sabres serve.
Yeah, I think the Kincaid's game almost went 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I think you're right. We were here late that night. Here's Labuanan setting up Sarabay. Sarabay just sends it across. It's on the Sabres side. They're going to have Warriors are going to have a free ball. Ho'opiʻi. Here's Yamashita. Sarabay. Sabres to keep it alive. Sabres made a good play right there. That was good. That was one of their best plays of the night right there. A block at the net. I have to say, these Sabres, their game, their game. We talked about Ethan and I, just to mention, we did a practice broadcast, and we talked about Lahaina Luna and how they were scrappy. These Maui High girls are scrappy themselves. So it's good to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see just effort. That's what that's what I like more than anything else, is just effort.
Totally.
13-10 Warriors. So, Ethan, how do you feel about, we have a great history of, I'm a history teacher. I like to talk about historical stuff. Here you are, we're talking about the great history of the girls volleyball program. The boys, we've had great volleyball players, volleyball teams and the boys. You're a part of this now. How does it make you feel? I kind of talked to Aleo about, she was at the beginning of this historical run of her program, and now you're a part of it. How do you feel about being part of the Kamehameha Schools Maui volleyball family and the history of that family? How do you feel about that? Because you're a member of it. You're a story that's important in it now. What do you think?
I feel like it definitely makes me feel like I have a responsibility, only because as a senior this year, I definitely got to try and step up my game and kind of set an example, because the level of play of a senior should definitely be higher than a freshman, and I think that doing that, the underclassmen can learn from us, and then when they learn from us, their underclassmen can learn from them, and that's how it's kind of built from then on.
Yeah, I think responsibility is the key thing. I think the girls definitely feel that. And I think there's an understanding that this program has been good, and a lot of people with a lot of effort in this program, and I think there's a lot of pride too. I mean, pride is the other word, isn't it? You're proud to be part of this, aren't you? So that's very cool, and I admire that about the volleyball program, especially the girls program, and I really admire that. I've been here for the whole thing, almost the whole thing, basically, so I've really observed it firsthand. Here's Sophia Stuppelbein with the serve. Okay, here comes the Sabre spike. Alapaʻi digs it out. Here's Yamashita. She's going to set up Sarabay. Hitting error. Point Sabres.
Just a bit too far outside.
Yeah, 16-11 Warriors. Here's my pal Asia, the sophomore. And she's obviously their best player. Asia Rajvong. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrect. She's their best player. She's got some height. She's got some volleyball skill.
Especially as a sophomore.
And she's only a sophomore, so it's going to be interesting to watch her career. She's obviously athletic. You can tell she's obviously athletic.
Definitely, and definitely he's got the height for it.
Yeah,
too.
definitely got the height for it. So it'll be interesting to watch. I'm sure they're going to build the program around her, the Maui High program around her. So, and then of course I jinxed her because then she had a service error. So here we go, Warriors 17-11. Here's Morita. All right, that's going to be close to the. That came over the net. Sarabe with the kill. Morita serving again. All right, here we go. Morita with the serve. Here's this Warrior, the Sabres dig. Warriors are going to have a free ball. All right, here's Alapaʻi. Sets up Morita. Logan Spencer gets the kill.
Nice little play there.
Nice little play. Sophia Stuppelbein was on the bench. I think she jumped as high as Logan. She was so excited about that play right there. 19-11. Okay, we're getting close to the end here.
6 more points to the match point.
Here's Morita's serve. Defender can't handle it. 20-11.
Slipped right through her fingers. And there's just another, or a service ace for Taylor Morita.
So Taylor and Hoala are single sport athletes. They just play volleyball, whereas Logan Spencer, by the way, folks, Logan is a basketball player and a water polo player. Logan was honorable mention in all 3 of her sports last year in the MIL voting. What are your thoughts, Ethan? I know you're a one-sport athlete. What are your thoughts about those types of things, playing multiple sports versus playing one sport? What are your thoughts about that?
So I think Logan playing multiple sports, there's definitely pros and cons. So a pro is definitely you're more well-rounded, and you can build certain strengths in certain areas, and you can use that to apply in other sports, such as like basketball and footwork. It's definitely a good thing to have in volleyball, obviously. And especially working with legs and stuff like that in basketball, getting her vertical up. So it almost can like lead up to that season coming up. And I think that not only that, you can figure out what sport you like best.
Right.
If you don't try anything, then you can't really figure out which one you like the best. And not only that, what one you play best.
How about being a single sport? That's kind of your thing. You're a single sport guy. What's the benefit of that?
So single sport, I think you can focus solely on that one sport, obviously, and in doing that, you can build strengths by playing year-round, and you'll be more consistent because you'll be playing year-round and you'll always be touching ball, and it definitely helps. And this year, I'm actually trying to play for Hoala's older brother's club called Maui Encore.
Okay, Hoala Alapaʻi, class of 17. Okay, all right, very good. So now, when you go to practice with this girls' team, what is your role at practice? What do you do at practice?
So at practice, Coach Alex has me hit balls for her because she says she's too old to hit the ball, even though I know she can. But she likes to throw me in during scrimmages just to have a little higher level play, and it helps the girls kind of be a little more quicker and smarter in how they move and play defense, and also with their blocking, of course.
Is that fun for you to go to practice like that? Is that a good time?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun being around them. They definitely have a lot more upbeat spirit than the guys do.
Yeah. Good. All right. Very good. Well, we're getting down here. 21-14. We got a football score going here. Warriors up 3 touchdowns to 2. We're starting to see some substitutions. There's Cervantes, the sophomore, back in the game. Okay. Here's Hoʻopiʻi with the serve. Sabres dig it out. Here comes their set. Here comes Warriors are going to have a free ball. There's Cervantes sets it up. Here's Morita. Here's Logan Spencer with the kill. Yeah, that was just like you could see that coming a mile away.
Great kill shot by Logan Spencer.
Yeah, I know a lot of you out there are interested in Logan because of Bala. Logan's going to have some opportunities to play all 3 of the sports. I'm told that by water polo people that Logan, if she was ever serious about water polo, she could be really a great water polo player. So Logan is a really good athlete. I know volleyball is her first love.
Very motivated, I'd say.
Yeah, it's like so. We got something going on with the band. The band is really fired up right now. So here we go. Here's Hoʻopiʻi with the serve. Sabres, here's their dig. Okay. Warriors are going to have a free ball. Here's Hoʻopiʻi. Morita, there's Stuppelbein. They can't handle Stuppelbein's spike. And ladies and gentlemen, I got caught flat-footed right there. Maybe that was what the excitement was, Ethan, is that I missed the fact it was a aloha ball. My goodness. Well, I'm a beginner at broadcasting myself.
I think you did a great job tonight.
All right, well, you're very kind, and I appreciate that, and you did a great job. So here's what we're going to do. we're going to take a 120-second break, and we're going to let this senior night thing sort of get a little bit organized. We're going to come back, and Ethan and I are going to have some final comments in about 2 minutes. And we're going to plug some of that stuff that's going to happen in the spring. And actually, there's going to be a lot more things than just in the spring. So thank you very much, folks. We're going to be back in 2 minutes. And stay with us. Okay, signing out. All right, folks, we're back at Ka Uila Gymnasium for our sort of finale. One of the things I want to do is I want to thank all of the people that are involved. And let's start off by thanking Lisa Correa. This is sort of her baby and sort of her belief. Again, I'd like to make a plug for Hikina Rising Podcasts. If you don't know about that, go to the KS Maui High School website. There's a bunch of podcasts on a bunch of different subjects, including athletics, the Songfest contest, and things like that. Kaholo Ricard deserves a lot of credit. He's sort of the technical brain behind this whole thing. But let's give a shout out to the students. Our director, Aimi Sakamoto, what a great job she did. She runs the show. Savannah Alueta, Jaden Pahukula, and Jackson Pahukula, the twins. Their father is the principal of the elementary school. Justin Patel running the screens. Nanea Ayu, she's running one of the cameras. Haley Augustine, and of course my good friend here, Ethan James. So this is a student. There are students involved with this thing all together. We are just sort of going to go through here. So let's just sort of close it up. What do we sort of see going forward for the girls volleyball team? What should we expect going forward? We got some big games coming up.
For sure. So with this win tonight, we can see that the record's now 8-1, and they definitely are going to end up playing the King K girls again, and that's definitely going to be a great game, and that's definitely their main competition this year in the MIL, and I think that they really need to prep for that, and they need to make sure they perform that night.
Yeah, no doubt. And so we're going to have to get great performances out of everyone. And so let's make another reference and mention of the 4 seniors for tonight. Let's not forget Logan Spencer, okay, the great Logan Spencer. And I can attest to you, Logan's a great kid, and Logan has handled her family situation with class and dignity the whole time. So Logan's a great kid. You should all be very proud of her. She was a 4-year varsity player. Hoala Alapaʻi, another 4-year varsity player. Meleana Hoʻopiʻi, she's a 3-year varsity player. Taylor Morita, she's been in the program all 4 years, but this is her 2nd year playing varsity. Let's again mention Alex Lakana. We both think she does a great job.
Great job.
She does a great job. So again, we're going to sort of take a little view as we finish this. So we're about to sign off, and we'll go to we'll let you watch this briefly without any sound until we cut it off. But again, my name is Kevin O'Brien. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for my guest earlier, Mr. Leo Novikov. And thank you, Mr. Ethan James. And don't forget, Ethan, we're going to be watching your games this spring. Ethan, once again, I want to mention, was last year's Boys Volleyball Player of the Year. So we're very excited. They're going to be going for their 4th MIL championship in a row, and I wish you the very best. I know you can do it, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien.
You're a great job. You're a great guy. Okay, this is a great guy right here. So I'm very proud of this guy. Great job. Okay, folks, thank you so much for joining us for the first ever broadcast of Ka Uila Sports Electricity. Thank you so much for being here. We had some rough, I probably had more rough patches than anybody else. All these sophomores and all the students did a great job. Kahola Ricard did a great job. Lisa Correa did a great job. So, so I apologize if I was probably the one dragging everybody down. So we'll try to keep doing that, getting better at it. And we're going to have some other broadcasts besides boys volleyball. We're hoping to have a soccer game or 2. We're hoping to have a basketball game, probably a JV game because that goes pretty fast. And we were even talking about doing a water polo game, and we're starting to get some coaches ask us to do these types of things. So if we can just sort of pan down to them, we'll say goodnight. We're going to pan down to those 4 down there. They look really cool. And all this stuff is going on right now. So thank you very much, folks. Ethan, thank you. Great job, my friend. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Aloha and good night.